Hey minions, it's me, Satan, your lord and master, here to spoil more Christian movies. So the Christian movie I'm going to spoil this time is called 6, The Mark Unleashed. And right out of the gate, this movie goes straight for the jugular with Godwin's Law, because you can't make an argument against the coming secular apocalypse without invoking Hitler and Lenin, Pontius Pilate, Ralph Waldo Emerson, and quoting them about lies and the lying liars who lie. Next, we have a scene of mindless drones watching an attractive Asian woman on a screen with a soothing voice. Hey, mindless drones, you have been given an implant that makes you part of a community that doesn't have jealousy, rage, monogamy, or sexual possessiveness. This implant gets rid of your bigotry against the gays. Also, your implant allows you to live for over 200 years. Except your implant is also a birth control device, because we can't have a terrible Christian movie without some eugenics conspiracy or taking away people's God-given right to procreate, because sex for pleasure alone is a sin, right, Christian prudes? Praise the leader for this freedom. So, if you had an old job and it got phased out or something, in our New World Order, guess what? We will offer you training for a new job. By training, we of course mean we're just going to download new skills into you via your implant, so we don't have to waste money and time sending you to one of those mind-warping colleges. We wouldn't want you to learn any of that nonsense about evolution or thinking for yourself. Praise the leader. So next we meet these two non-Christian hooligan friends, who are totally played by Christian actors. One of them is Reverend Dave from God Is Not Dead. The other is a Christian movie producer who I'm going to call Mercy Streets, because he produced that movie. The car radio is churning out messages from this leader about holy implant and how God is dead. So these guys hatch this plan to go steal this 2000 Knight Industries Porsche or something, and then they go to take it to some other dude anyway. In the next scene, we find Alex Grady from The Best of the Best and the comedian from The Watchmen, and they're sitting in a dark room, drinking and smoking and talking and trading cigars and cigarettes and banned DVDs, I guess, like Schindler's List and Braveheart and Biodome, kind of like booze and Prohibition. Suddenly, the Baroness from Cobra shows up with some Cobra stormtroopers. It was all a setup by her ex-husband, the comedian. Sorry, Alex Grady. Really? They shot Alex Grady already in the back alley? Eric Roberts didn't have a very big part in this. So next we're back to Reverend Dave and Mercy Streets, trying to sell their stolen Knight Industries 2000 Porsche to Andre the Giant in a ponytail, only to find out Andre the Giant got the implant and feels so much better now. Oh crap, Andre the Giant in a ponytail set us up. We better get away in our Knight Industries 2000 Porsche. Car chase with police car in pursuit ensues. Reverend Dave, if we get caught, we're going to get our heads chopped off. All I wanted was a pizza. Seriously, you can't make up this dialogue. But the Knight Industries 2000 Porsche comes to a stop for some reason. And that reason turns out to be they ran out of gas. Seriously? The car comes to a stop and Reverend Dave and Mercy Streets get arrested, I guess. So Reverend Dave and Mercy Streets are in prison with all the trash who didn't get the implant. And a loudspeaker informs them they can change their mind and get the implant. And they can tell a guard they want the implant at any time. Hey, Reverend Dave, you really should have checked the gas gauge before you stole that Knight Industries 2000 Porsche. I mean, we wouldn't be in this fix if you had. Just saying. Shut up, Mercy Streets. Then we're back to the comedian in a torture chamber. This scary bald guy shocks the comedian through his implant with a remote control device. Hey, aren't you going to ask me any questions, scary bald dude, or are you just going to keep shocking me? Oh, I'm just going to keep shocking you. The Baroness watches her husband get tortured through a TV screen in another room. So, comedian, through your implant and this remote control device, you feel like your skin is being burned off. You feel like your guts are being ripped out and your limbs are being torn off and broken glass is being shoved in all of your orifices. Jeez, Christian movie. I know you Christians are really into some torture porn in your Christian movies. I mean, if the passion is any indication, but you're getting pretty graphic here with your expository dialogue. Well, comedian, I guess we're just gonna have to get more creative with your torture. Really? More creative than the feeling of glass being shoved into every orifice? Yeesh. It's so fun torturing you, comedian. When you torture stupid Christians, all they do is pray and forgive you. It's so boring. Not unlike this movie. Then we cut to the prisoners being executed by getting their heads chopped off for not getting the implant. Stupid Christians. Reverend Dave and Mercy Streets look on. The comedian is still being tortured, apparently, but the Baroness comes to console him to romantic music. Please make the torture stop, Baroness. There's only one way to stop the torture, comedian. We want you to find and kill the leader of the underground Christian resistance. I will do it, Baroness. I will kill that sumbitch. Reverend Dave and Mercy Streets read writing on the wall of their cells, which turns out to be Bible verses, of course. We've only got 3 weeks before they chop our heads off, Reverend Dave. Suddenly the implant doesn't sound so bad. Buck up, Mercy Streets. That's 3 weeks we got to plot our escape from this totally high-security prison. Hey, Reverend Dave, it says over here on this wall that God didn't spare his own son, but delivered him up for us all. I'll tell you what that means, Mercy Streets. If God even exists, he murdered his own kid. Where was God when all those Christians got their heads chopped off a few minutes ago? Because as we all know, a Christian movie has to really make the point that all non-Christians are just angry with God and don't want empirical evidence or anything. Next, the comedian and the Baroness meet with this James Bond villain dude. Look, comedian, we need you to kill this Elijah dude who's the leader of the underground Christian movement. We need people to believe in our cult of personality leader and not in God, okay? You're familiar with God in the Bible, right? Here's a video of some Christian lunatic calling out our leader and calling him the Antichrist, whatever that is, and the implant the mark of the beast. He's quoting from the Bible or something. Then he's threatening people with an eternity of torture in hell. Can you believe this? So now we're sending you into prison to infiltrate this Christian resistance. Okay, hold on a second. So they're going to send the comedian into prison to infiltrate this Christian group who's in prison for not getting the mark of the beast, and they're going to get their heads chopped off for not getting the mark of the beast, but they're sending the comedian into prison to kill the dude who's the leader of the resistance. Okay, whatever. Maybe I got this wrong and they sent him into prison to get the information about the leader. I don't know. Anyway, so back in prison, Reverend Dave and Mercy Streets are talking about which is worse, implant-accepting morons or Christian morons. You know what's great about not accepting that there's a God or heaven? Not accepting there's a hell either. I mean, the concepts are so stupid, Mercy Streets. The comedian ends up sharing a cell with, wait for it, Biodome. Guess what's written on their jail cell wall? More Bible verses. This one's about the bridegrooms and how half of them didn't bring oil, yada yada. Biodome asks the comedian, what do you think these verses mean? The comedian says, Christ only wanted to deflower half the virgins because they brought the oil. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Biodome says, you're a fool, comedian, and God doesn't like your snarky, stupid satire. What the story really means is Jesus is coming, and you have to be prepared to be filled by the Holy Spirit at any time, so you should always have your oil handy. Well, gee, Biodome, that sounds just like the leader of the cult of personalities bibble babble. Sorry, comedian, you're just going to have to figure out Jesus for yourself. If you don't, you're going to burn in hell forever. And that's it, minions, for part 1. This might have to be a 3-parter, as I can only take this movie in small doses.